Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Please drink responsibly. By Summit Utilities, delivering natural gas to Razorback fans all across Arkansas. Arkansas Heart Hospital, dedicated to your heart. Ballpark, proud to be the official hot dog of the Razorbacks. By Zips Car Wash, proud sponsor of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Harps, quality foods, hometown fresh. It's that simple at Harps. The Arkansas Department of Health. Quit tobacco. We can help. By SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of Razorback Athletics. Edward Jones. Find a financial advisor near you at edwardjones.com. By Roller Funeral Homes. For 3 generations, the Razorback Nation has trusted the Roller family to serve yours with all our respect. Kubota. For Earth. For life. Highland Dairy. Locally made. Naturally delicious. By your local Toyota dealer. Toyota. Let's go places. The University of Arkansas Online, offering flexible degree programs. Apply now at online.uark.edu. By Qual Choice Health Insurance, the quality choice for health insurance. Keep it simple with Qual Choice. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, reliable, affordable, responsible power. By Baptist Health, Arkansas's largest and most comprehensive health system. Greenway Equipment, for equipment that works as hard as you do. Regions Bank, Regions, the official bank of the SEC. And by Modelo Especial, brewed for full-time Razorback fans. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Razorback Sports Network.
This is Hog Reaction, brought to you by Buffington Homes.
Wagner drives right side, gets a screen from Ivicic, hesitates, gets to the rim, off the glass, it goes and one.
Hog Reaction is also presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
People had us in the coffin. They just didn't have all the nails down.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. Tune in to Hog Reaction after every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN Arkansas.
Arkansas gets the win tonight, 70-58 over the LSU Tigers. The get-back game that Arkansas desperately had to have tonight for their NCAA tournament hopes. LSU kind of played like we thought they would, played us tough, and it really never felt like Arkansas. I mean, I guess it did kind of the last 5 minutes or so, but LSU kind of hung in there the entire game. Arkansas was just maybe a little bit better the entire game. LSU didn't shoot the ball well. They were held under 60 points. Arkansas didn't have the best night offensively, but their defense played well, and it was a game that Arkansas desperately needed, and they got it. 70-58 gives them their 4th win in the conference. They moved to 4-7, 15-9 overall. Man, I tell you what, it felt like for a while there, LSU was going to kind of make a run, and it just seems like Big Z came up big tonight. 27 on the game tonight.
25 points 25. For Big Z tonight. So, no, 25 points for Big Z tonight. He was huge, Christian, to your point. And also to your point, LSU really did all they could to muck this game up. They missed a lot of shots, and so did the Razorbacks. But at the end of the day, like you said, Christian, the Razorbacks kind of got it together when it mattered most. The beginning of this, the very first matchup the Razorbacks had against LSU, it kind of came down to free throw shooting. LSU didn't shoot nearly as many free throws at all this entire game, and so that sort of was a big difference from the first go-around. And like you said, they really couldn't afford to have dropped this game at home. It would have definitely put a really, really bleak outlook on the rest of the season, trying to claw their way back from a really rough start and then get their way into the tournament, find themselves off the bubble and into one of those seeds. So Big C, I think that the guys were firing on all cylinders tonight sometimes, but there's still some things they're going to have to shore up when the going really gets tough and February rolls around and the calendar turns to March. The pick and roll defense at times tonight was just atrocious to watch. And how many times can you miss layups at the rim? So they've still got some stuff to clean up, but Christian, you said it. It was a game they couldn't afford to lose, and they definitely did. And so props to the guys for executing tonight when it mattered.
Yeah, kind of the same story in that first game, except you got the win. Missed a lot of layups down low, and Adu Thiero didn't have his best game, but he made plays when it mattered. It was an LSU team that came in kind of desperate, just needing a win, and you knew they'd kind of play with their backs against the wall, but they're just not a very good team, and Arkansas did what they had to do in not their best effort to get the win tonight. It's Hog reaction following Arkansas's loss, or Arkansas's win over LSU 70-58. We are brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Sawyer's Sunrooms, and Buffington Homes. It's me, Christian Johnston, here with Colton Little. Colton, I tell you, just getting a win in the SEC when they've been so hard to come by. I mean, I know we got the 2 road wins, but just the way that it's especially gone on the home court at Bud Walton Arena, just to get a win and kind of get yourself in that winning mindset that we can win a game on our home floor.
You said it, Christian. This league is as tough as it's ever been, even though the conference record is still 500. In case you didn't know that, the conference record is 500, which is just baffling to some people. But I think that this win tonight just proves to show that the things that you've improved on and things that you've gotten better from when you played them the first time around is now evident. When you played them back in January, you had no idea where you were going when you needed a bucket. You wanted him to be Boogie, but he just wasn't quite ready to be as efficient as you needed him to be. And if you didn't have that, you needed someone like Nelly Davis to step up. And at that time, he was still getting his footing. But the emergence of Big Z, you mentioned it at the start, over these last few games has just been absolutely huge. Not just the 25 points, but I mean, those blocks down low, he is an absolute force. It's unreal for a guy to go out there and be so long and athletic and move around the way he does and get up and down the court and be able to defend the rim at such a high level, as well as step out on the perimeter and be a real threat. 3 for 5 beyond the arc tonight for Zvonimir and Bisic, and he went 10 for 13 overall. So an excellent night for Big Z. I think it's like his first back-to-back 20-point game in his career. There's lots of nuggets from Big Z's awesome performance tonight.
Yeah, I think it is his back-to-back 20-point performances, and he really is your anchor defensively and offensively. It feels like anytime he shoots a 3, even if he's guarded, I know he's really tall, but even when someone's in his face, he seems to knock it down. And tonight they needed every bit of his production, because it really felt like LSU was kind of on the cusp of going on a run here and there, and he seemed like he would hit a 3 or make a dunk and just kind of stifle any momentum LSU had as they dropped to 1-10 in the conference. Still, their only win is against you, but at least you didn't make it 2 tonight.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You took care of business, which was all that you had to do. It's a shame that Coach Cowell was feeling under the weather and was not able to give a post-game press conference tonight on the radio, so hopefully we'll get to hear from him as the week rolls on, moving into what's going to be a really big game on the road against Texas A&M over Valentine's weekend on the 15th. I think that the Razorbacks, their next 3 games coming up, Christian, you're going to be 2 of them on the road, but the next 3 altogether are all against opponents ranked in the top 25. And you're going to have a really difficult time clawing and scratching out one singular win again in these next 3. You've become really good at being a road warrior recently in these last 2 games in really hostile environments at the Moody Center and in Rupp Arena, but it's not like it's going to get any easier. Texas A&M is really good. Missouri is really an athletic. They match up with you athletically really well, and then Auburn obviously has just been a machine this entire year. So it's going to continue to be really, really rocky for this Razorback basketball team. But what you do see now that is evident from what we didn't see earlier when we played this team in LSU that we can see tonight, they're a lot more competitive. They're a lot more fluid. What they have to do that kind of got them beat early in the season, and it's kind of rearing its ugly head now a little bit, is they have to continue to communicate on pick and roll defenses, as well as boxing out and grabbing rebounds. That kind of killed them a little bit too. They couldn't find a way to communicate to, hey, who's blocking this guy out, who's blocking this guy out, and second chance points killed them pretty much for the entirety of the first half. they shorted up a little bit and got more physical thanks to Jonas Adu coming in and throwing his body around. It was good to see him get some good quality minutes tonight. Brazil as well, but the offensive glass for LSU tonight was probably their best offense in the first half, and luckily the Razorbacks shored that up. But you got to continue to get better on those things if you want to go into these next 3 huge games for the Razorbacks and have a snowball's chance and where of making these games competitive and close.
Yeah, and I kind of like the way Cal's doing the lineups. You mentioned Jonas Adu there. He's never really been known as a big scorer, but what he can give you is a defensive presence. And as good as Big Z has been, he blocks shots. He's tall, but he's not really known for being that bruiser down low who can withstand a lot of physical play. And I like the way that Cal's doing the lineups, kind of getting guys out at the right time, getting them in and out. It seems to bode well right now for the Razorbacks as it's me and Colton Little. Christian Johnston here with you. Colton Little on Hog Reaction, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Sawyer Sunrooms, and Buffington Homes. Call us at 877-377-6963. Give us your thoughts as Arkansas wins 70-58 against the LSU Tigers. Got 7 games left in conference on the schedule. I believe 4 of those are against ranked teams. I think you need to pick off at least 2 of those ranked teams, and then kind of take care of business against the teams you should beat. And we say you should beat, but in this conference, you never know, Colton. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back on Hog Reaction.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, brought to you by Buffington Homes, the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
You got me really hot, so cool that one down.
Looking for a new home in the heart of Northwest Arkansas? Head to the Cottage at the Park. These beautiful homes by Buffington have direct access to a 120-acre park and offer maintenance-free yards. That means free time can be spent watching the Hogs, traveling, playing in the park, or just enjoying a weekend without yard work. For relaxed living at its finest, Cottage at the Park is the best move you'll make. Visit BuffingtonHomesAR.com/hogradio for details.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyer's has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyer's and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyer's, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Extended. That's right. The Greater River Valley RV Show has been extended through President's Day. Don't let the weather keep you away. Crabtree RV Center has a 26,000 square foot indoor showroom to keep you warm and dry while you check out their extensive new and pre-owned inventory, such as Grand Design and Forest River, just to name a few. All units have been drastically reduced and financing is available. So make plans to come see why they've been voted the best of the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Crabtree RV Center at 400 Heather Lane in Alma, making your family's dreams come true for 75 years.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
At Central Hydraulic in Fort Smith, the work doesn't just stop when the temperature drops. We're your go-to service provider. Be sure to prep your machine and stay ahead of the frost and costly damage. Still using summer oil? Winter-friendly oil is the weapon your machine needs. Be sure to get an oil change. Check your hydraulic fluid, fuel prep, and battery check. For all these services needed in the cold weather months, come see Central Hydraulic for all your hydraulic needs at 6104 Highway 271 South or call at 479-646-0571. Central Hydraulic, your service provider.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Knox, step back, left wing, 3-ball, good.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, brought to you by Buffington Homes and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Nadu drives the paint, kicks it out to Brazil, 3-pointer, good.
Hog Reaction is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction.
The Razorbacks will dribble this one out, and Arkansas is going to earn the split with LSU. The Tigers winners in Baton Rouge, but it's Arkansas tonight. LSU led by 1 at the break. Hogs outscored them by 13 in the second half. 70-58 the final.
Wasn't an eventful ending there, but it ended in a win, and that's all that matters, Colton. They covered tonight. They won by 12. I don't know who cares about that out there, but I kind of thought about that as the game got kind of towards the end. You know, we might as well cover, and Arkansas was able to cover that 10-point spread and get the win against an LSU team. You know, for some reason when you go to LSU, which I know home courts have a pretty big impact, and not necessarily you don't necessarily think LSU's home court is being loud and chaotic, but they play a lot better on their home court. I mean, Arkansas usually does. They protect their home court when LSU comes in, and it wasn't a runaway game, but it just felt like Arkansas was in control. Now, there are some things, obviously, that Arkansas needs to work on. It got kind of sloppy at points tonight. It seemed like they're on quite a few possessions, there wasn't just a whole lot of flow to the offense, and that could be a lot of what LSU was doing on defense. But nonetheless, Arkansas was able to go to the free throw line. You'd like to see Arkansas shoot a little bit better from the line than they did tonight. Colton, they were 10 of 17 on the game, so not the greatest percentage. It was 58%. You want to see that a little bit higher. I know Nelly Nelly Davis hit some jump shots kind of early in the game. Got him. You thought he was going to kind of have one of those typical Nelly games. He didn't really break out like it looked like he was going to do there. But Big Z carried the load offensively tonight, and I mean he had 25 of our 70 points. So that right there is you got to give him the player of the game tonight.
Yeah, I think that Big Z obviously is going to be the guy that's going to come home with the hardware from tonight. This was the big fella on one of his numerous highlights from this evening against the Tigers.
8:47 to go. Wagner off a screen, pick and roll, and Visic inside. Reverse two-hand slam, Zvonimir.
See, that's the reverse slam right there. He's capable of doing that. He's gotten his footwork a little bit better, and then we know, obviously, anytime that he wants to, he can step out beyond the arc and sink as many threes as he'd like. He was 3 for 5 tonight, and Arky from NWA chimes in right here and says that productive offense definitely seems to be going through Big Z. Still needs someone else to consistently knock down some threes. He said it was also good to see Carter Knox have some productive minutes tonight. Carter Knox, the freshman, went 4 for 5 tonight, including a 1 for 2 performance beyond the arc. He missed those 2 free throws like you were talking about, Christian, that were also kind of them took a little bit of air out of the building at times. But, you mentioned Nelly not having a great performance scoring. I still thought that he, while not very efficient, he did get things done on the defensive end and picked up 3 steals again. And he's been a really good anchor for them defensively as well to go along with Big Z, really disrupting passing lanes for opposing guards, and it's nice to see Nelly Davis be the player that we all thought he was. Now, if we can get Jonas Adu in these 11 minutes to take more than just 2 shots, I think that we'll be feeling a lot more comfortable about him, but still not necessarily excited about the outcome for Jonas Adu right now, but I do think that 11 minutes, getting 10 minutes tonight was big for him as opposed to just 4 or 5 in recent games. And he did show you that he could go in there and grab a couple rebounds. He got a handful of those, actually a handful at 5, 2 assists that he made, 1 block shot. That was really nice toward the end of the game. He finishes +6, and I think that this was a good game for his confidence. He had a nice bucket to kind of get us going there early in the first half, and I think that this team still hasn't had that performance where every single one of their guys is clicking on all cylinders and they have that great performance. Hopefully it's going to come up in one of these next few games that you have on the road against ranked teams, and then when you come back home against a really good Missouri team that kind of took your lunch money the first time around.
Yeah, and I'm going to kind of play devil's advocate here. So our offense seems to run through Big Z. Do you think that's sustainable for the rest of the season? Is that something we can kind of lean on, or will teams kind of adjust to that at some point?
I wonder if what's going to happen is teams will just start to they're going to just give him absolutely 0 opportunities to shoot, and where those 5 3-pointers that he is really has to work for, 5 3-point attempts that he works a game, gets whittled down to maybe 3 or 2, and they have to be really good looks. And then you kind of make Big Z a little bit more one-dimensional, where his scoring output isn't quite so high, because I think that he's struggled at times consistently being able to put his back to the basket, turn around. Now tonight, that little baby hook that he's been practicing that's just so unblockable, it went in tonight a couple times, and it had a really good effect on the team. It was a consistent way for the team to get 2 points when they needed it, whether it was late in the shot clock or immediately off of the action that Cal drew up. Big Z is a really big part of this offense, and it's nice that when he's able to get in there, that he sort of takes that confidence and takes that responsibility onto his shoulders, because he's a really great and a really fun player to watch. I mean, I was thinking that tonight. I typed it into my notes, and I'm going to talk about it hopefully tomorrow morning with Ty and Tommy. It's that I mean, I can't think of a more exciting player that I've watched in recent years that just looks like they're having that much fun. And I think that what's crazy is he's still learning how to be a college basketball player. He's still learning so much about American culture and all these things, and he is doing such a great job assimilating so well, and also just getting absolute buckets out there on the court. So really happy that Big Z decided to take a chance and come with Coach Cal from Kentucky. It's made a big difference in our season.
Yeah, and on the broadcast, they were talking about Big Z and kind of when he started playing basketball over in Serbia. They kind of, or Croatia, it's Croatia, right? Yeah. They kind of want their big guys to be able to shoot threes and do it and put it on the floor, and that really has benefited him. And I honestly don't know where this team would be at times without him, because he's been that steady hand. And sometimes it's like that. You have one guy who carries the team, and there was definitely a lot of solid performances tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Richmond gave you 21 minutes.
Big Bill,
and just an energy guy. He always seems like he's a step ahead of everybody in the pace that he plays at.
Mm-hmm.
It may not always be pretty, and he may not be the best ball handler, but man, he's a load when he's going downhill. And Carter Knox tonight played a pretty good game, 9 points, did some good things on defense. It was just one of those grinded out type games, kind of reminded me of the Georgia win. Mm-hmm. Except, it never felt like Arkansas was really going to lose this game. I was a little worried at halftime when they were down 1, just because how are they going to respond in the second half? Is LSU going to come out and, kind of take it to them? But I really liked the way Arkansas came back in the second half. Cal wasn't happy with how that first half ended.
No, he threw something. I'm sure he had some choice words too. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't the best ending to that first half, but they got the win tonight by 12. There were some other games in the conference tonight. Colton, did you get to watch any of those? I know was it Ole Miss and South Carolina?
Ole Miss and South Carolina, they went down to the wire. I didn't get a chance to tune into the end of that game. I was cooking myself and my wife a scrumptious dinner and a great bratwurst tonight. But no, I know that the SEC obviously is just going to be an absolute dogfight every single night. We got a text here from Tim, who's formerly from Palm Beach. Now I guess he's living in Alabama, probably listening to us on the Hit That Line Now app, which you can as well, sponsored by Taco Bell. And he said that he got in late, but he heard enough. Says that we're out here kicking it, but he hasn't looked at the box score. But he wants to know, where did they struggle and when did they struggle? Was it offensive rebounds? That seems to be an Achilles heel for this team all year. And Tim, you're on the money with this one. Yes. They did struggle in that department tonight. They gave up 10 offensive rebounds to the Tigers, and they only grabbed 7 off of the offensive glass for themselves. And second chance points for the Tigers, they converted 16 of those, while the Razorbacks only got 6. So if you limit those second chance points for LSU to just cut those in half, Christian, you're beating this team by 20 points.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably a little more closer than I think a lot of these fans wanted to see the game go tonight. I don't think anybody's going to have a sorry attitude after a win like this one, especially on your home court. But Tim from Palm Beach, appreciate you chiming in. You guys can jump in with us too, 877-377-6963 to get in here on Hog Reaction with me and Big C. After the win tonight, LSU and Arkansas, Hogs knock off the Tigers 70-58. Big C, man, it's nice to know that just a couple of weeks ago when we were kind of probably thinking about, man, we ought to just, when the pitchers and catchers report, it's really nice now that we actually can sort of divert our focus back to February and basketball season. And I think that one thing tonight, even though baseball season is coming up, and it certainly is this way as well, basketball is a game of runs as well. And the Razorbacks kind of just, like you said when we started, they were the ones that got on the runs that were sustained, and they actually held their opponents scoreless for a little while. So that's what you got to do to win these games in the SEC, is just hope and pray that when the other team misses shots, that you're there to grab the rebound.
Yeah, and LSU, speaking of leads, LSU led by 5 with 18:45 to go in the first half. That was their biggest lead of the game. Their biggest scoring run was 6, and Arkansas's was 6. 11 lead changes in this game, Colton. That was a little concerning. Times tied 6 times, and then LSU led for 10 minutes, 58 seconds. Arkansas led for 27 minutes. It just kind of seemed like towards the end, Arkansas made enough plays, and you got a tough one at College Station on Saturday, and I really think, Colton, I mean, they're all big at this point, but I like the way I kind of like the way they match up with A&M. You still got Wade Taylor, who seems like he's been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
He's a walking bucket. I mean, it doesn't matter if you've got a hand in his face. He's really good at just creating his own shot, and that always kind of poses a threat. He can shoot out of a lot of bad possessions for Texas A&M, and I don't know who's gonna be assigned to guard him, but our best defender, which may be Billy Richmond, Colton, I believe, will need to have that task.
Yeah, Billy Richmond's probably going to be the guy that draws that duty for the Razorbacks. And you mentioned him a little bit earlier, man. Big Bill, dude, he does bring that energy, and this was one of the many highlights that he had tonight. Just bringing that energy off the bench.
Outlet to Richmond. Billy end to end to the rim. It goes with the left hand. Billy Richmond from one end of the floor to the other.
Billy Richmond, like Chuck just said right there, from one end of the floor to the other, he's a literal blur sometimes. You mentioned the SEC and how big of a task it's going to be for the Razorbacks coming up. Ole Miss survives against South Carolina 72-68 tonight.
Yeah.
You're going to start to feel bad for the Gamecocks after a while. They have been close in so many games and not been able to pull it out down the wire. Missouri kind of makes Oklahoma like it tonight, 82-58, and your Arkansas Razorbacks beat the Tigers 70-58 as well.
Yeah, I caught some of the South Carolina game against Kentucky, and when I was watching that, I was just like, man, South Carolina is awful. Mm-hmm. And then you see them play a team like Ole Miss at home, and they look like a totally different team.
I know that we've sort of talked about being Oklahoma being the one that slipped away from the Razorbacks early on in the season, but they've kind of struggled and muddled around in the net at the same part as you. Or they've scored in the standings of you, not in the net because they have higher quad one wins, but it would have been really nice to have pulled out that Ole Miss game early on in the season when we were close, and I think that we were just not in rhythm on offense like we have been these last few games, or so it appears to be. But Big C, man, it's just nice that the Hogs got another win tonight when they definitely needed to do it, and I think that hopefully they can keep parlaying this into some good games coming up in the future.
Definitely got a tough one coming up. So yeah, Arkansas wins 70-58. Let us hear your thoughts. 877-377-6963 after the break. It's Hog Reaction, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Buffington Homes, and Sawyer Sunrooms. Stay with us.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, brought to you by Buffington Homes, the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
You got me really hot, so cool that one down.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. My favorite sport is hockey. I love the ice, the sliding, and especially the hits, but I don't love those things on our roads. Winter weather is here, so slow down and drive defensively. But if a bad driver gets past your goalie, call me to make a power play against the insurance company. After 13 years of settling car wreck claims, I've got more than a few tricks in my hat. Call 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing, and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Happy New Year from Sharp Equipment. Come on over to the new Sharp Equipment today and explore what all Sharp has to offer. From our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Newson dealer to customized hydraulic and industrial hoses, equipment repairs, and as a Cinnabogan authorized service provider, we're able to offer even more. Stop in to check out the new location at 5608 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-649-0500 to see how at Sharp Equipment we help you move more than just the world. We help you move forward. Sharp Equipment, your Wacker Newson dealer.
If you live near Alex, Alma, Branch, Bloomer, Mountain Berg, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect Internet may be available to you right now. Wave is now serving a few non-member areas and adding more in the coming months. Check availability online. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text our used bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Try to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Knox, step back, left wing, 3-ball, good.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, brought to you by Buffington Homes and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Nadu drives the paint, kicks it out to Brazil, 3-pointer, good.
Hog Reaction is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction.
Arkansas gets the win, the big win. I'm going to call it a big win because any win right now for confidence and just getting kind of in that time of the year where you need to start stacking them up, Colton. 70-58, the final over the LSU Tigers as they fall even further down the bottom of the league. And I know there's some teams at this point where it's kind of where, Arkansas's on the bubble. You need to start watching other teams and how they perform. And I think one of those is Wake Forest. And I saw where they were, their record is 18-6 and 10-3 in the conference. But I think they're sitting outside the bubble right now. And Colton, I looked at their schedule and they don't have any ranked wins. All the ranked teams they played, they lost. So that was a team we needed to lose tonight, and they lost to Florida State. It was kind of a wild ending.
Oh, my God. I'm
saw
so
that?
glad you mentioned that. They showed it on the halftime. It was the first highlight they came to, and that is some of the most disgusting things I've ever seen on a basketball court.
Yeah.
So first of all, they give the ball away so many times within a span of just a few seconds of game time, and then at the very end when they foul a three-point shooter, when Florida State fouls that three-point shooter with almost no time left from half court.
Yes.
And then he misses the free throw. Oh my God!
Yeah.
It was rough to watch. And like you said, Christian, that's a team that's sitting there right there on the bubble. And because of the fact that they're playing in a depleted conference this year in the ACC, they're probably on the outside looking in. And it's good that you mentioned other teams to kind of keep your eye on. In the SEC, it's Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, Georgia, Texas, and Arkansas right now, hovering around that bubble. And in action later this week on Valentine's Day weekend, after you have taken time for your woman or the man in your life on Friday night, and you've done all that you can to keep up with the Joneses on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and you've done that, and you've expressed the love that you should for your loved ones on that day. The next day, after the baseball games, there's some basketball action still on in the SEC. Arkansas and A&M. You've also got Vanderbilt and Tennessee. Arkansas's playing an early game for once, Christian, this Saturday. They're playing at 11 a.m., followed by Vandy and Tennessee at 12 o'clock, Missouri and Georgia, and then at 3 p.m., it's the big one, Alabama and Auburn, number 1 and number 2. That's going to be one that I'm going to have my eyes on no matter what. And then Mississippi, Ole Miss, that one's kind of flying under the radar. The basketball version of the Egg Bowl at 5 p.m., LSU and Oklahoma later on that night, and then Kentucky and Texas and South Carolina at Florida. Florida's kind of going to be my dark horse Final Four team. They are so good. And you said it, Christian. The SEC is just stacked, but you got to keep your eye on the rest of this conference because you want teams that have beaten you to continue to win, and you also want teams that you have good records or good wins against to also win as well. It's really kind of a double-edged sword at that point. Like, for example, you want to be a big Michigan fan because you want them to keep winning because that's a good win for you. And now that you've beaten Kentucky, it's really nice that that they continue to beat Tennessee, who also has a high net ranking. Because, folks, at the end of the day, your conference record in this league is not going to matter very much when they are trying to get the best basketball teams in the tournament. And your resume as an Arkansas Razorback, if you're able to just squeak and squeal out these wins at the end of the season, you're going to find yourself dancing. And now you may have to take yourself from a first four situation and play yourself into the tournament to begin with, but that's a lot better than sitting at home, or the alternate, which is having to turn down and decline an NIT invitation because we're just too proud to do that.
Yeah, that was well said, Colton. NIT doesn't sound appealing to me right now, and I think Arkansas's kind of turned the corner to where I'm not saying they're a perfect team by any means, they're not, but they're gonna compete for 40 minutes, and when you do that, it doesn't matter who you play in this league, no matter what their ranking is. You give yourself a chance because you're just as good as a lot of these teams, and giving yourself a chance late in games, you're gonna pull some of those out. And I think as weird as it sounds, I know it's going to be tough. It may come down to the wire, but I expect a win against Texas A&M. I know they're 8th in the country. But I like the way you match up, and then obviously at Auburn, I just thought about this, Colton. So we've beaten Auburn once when they're ranked number 1 at Bud Walton. Now, how cool would it be if we beat them on their home court when they were number 1?
It would be sweet. The taste of victory there is one that I would revel in. That I would be. These Twitter fingers would fly. I'd be reckless. I would somewhere some show of some top 47 show host somewhere would be taking his shirt off somewhere. I know that for sure. If the Razorbacks got into the game against the Tigers of Auburn and somehow pulled off a win there. But I think one game at a time is the mindset that this team has taken, and they've really done a really good job of taking that and really running with it. They had 2 huge back-to-back road wins on the against Texas and Kentucky that I think really turned this team around, and a lot of it is thanks to what we mentioned already, which was Big Z. As we've already also stated tonight, Coach Cal feeling under the weather. There is sickness going around this time of year, folks. Please wash your hands and cover your mouths. Don't get my coach sick. And so Coach Kenny Payne had the post game tonight, and he talked about just how big Ibisic has been for this Razorback basketball team.
There's a difference in a player that's 7'1" that just shoot threes. Now you're seeing the maturation of the young man who is now cutting to the basket, dunking the ball, jump hooks, turnaround J's, finishing around the basket to go with the threat of the 3.
That's right, to go with the threat of the 3, and this is the threat of the 3 from the 7'2" Croatian sensation.
53-48. Hogs by 5. Thero down the lane on Miller. Kicks it out. Ivisic is open. Top of the circle, and he drains the three-pointer. The third 3 of the night for Zvonimir Ivisic. 21 for Big Z, and it's 56-48.
21 for the big one. At that point in the game, he finished with 25. And this Razorback basketball team, they have gotten it when they needed it most from guys that have really stepped up. And I think that they just got to continue to do that for the duration of this rest of this season. Christian, I talked about those big ranked matchups that we have coming up on the schedule. Realistically, what do you think the Razorbacks can go in these next 3 games against Auburn, Missouri, against Texas A&M, Auburn, and Missouri? You do get Missouri back in Bud Walton Arena. That is the next, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, the 22nd. So these next 3 games against 3 of the top ranked teams in the country, top 25 teams. What do you think you can fare?
Okay, so just kind of judging, how tough the conference is this year and how things typically play out. So you got 7 games left. 4 are on the road. 3 are at home. Now the home games, they look winnable on paper, but to expect to win all 3 of those, you got Missouri, Texas, and Mississippi State's probably a little bit wishful thinking there. I think if you can win 2 of 3 at home, that would be exceptional. Texas is very beatable. You already beat them there, so you could expect the same result at your place. Now Missouri, Mississippi State. Now Mississippi State really defends. Chris Jans really has those guys locked in on the defense, and they can turn a game really ugly, and that usually favors his team. And so, out of those 3 home games, I'll say we beat Missouri and Texas, and then that leaves the 4 games on the road. I'll say if you go 2-2 in the 4 road games, I think that puts you at winning 4 of your last 7, and that makes you obviously finish is that 7-11 on the season.
Yeah. Which really is huge. If you told me that's how we finished when we started the season, Christian, I thought that you were crazy. And so I think that that's right, because the back half of this schedule, like you said, it was kind of top loaded, but and then kind of right here in the back part of the middle, I guess. But at the end, you do have games that are more attainable. You get Missouri and Texas both at home, and then South Carolina and Vanderbilt on the road, and then Mississippi State. You get a lot of those opportunities inside Bud Walton Arena that was rocking tonight. So I think that the Razorbacks still have a positive outlook on the rest of their season, but they just got to continue to get stuff done. And I'm really looking forward to watching them the rest of this year. I think that, if you can still go out there and claw out wins tonight like you do without your best player, who's been your best player all year, in Adu Thero, contributing even double-digit points for you tonight, you're going to continue to find ways to win ball games when they really, really matter, or when your back's against the wall. And the defense tonight was really, really big for the Razorbacks, and I think that they've had guys really step up on that end as well, but they also are kind of got this thing that I think maybe like a statistical sickness, where at times they've put so much emphasis on this team to find their rhythm offensively and convert points when they need to, and getting guys going and getting guys to stuff the stat sheet a little bit, that they kind of maybe not taken as much of a priority on defense, which there's a premium placed on that in this league this year. And so I think that the Razorbacks have done that at times, and they've got certain players to grow as defenders, but as a unit, there's still some work to be done there, because you can't go into a game like Auburn and A&M and have really, really bad pick and roll defense like that, because it'll get ugly really, really fast. And Auburn will start setting records against you like they did the last time that you played them. So you don't want that to be the case. You don't want that game to get out of hand. You want to prove to people that are going to be hopefully picking you to be amongst the field of 68 when it comes down to it. You want them to say, hey, this Razorback team that got off to a really rough start, they fought like hell the whole season, and they went toe-to-toe with Auburn for a while. That team belongs in the tournament. So that's what a lot of this selection stuff comes down to eventually. I think a lot more of it is feel and the eye test than we all care to admit. I'm not quite so sure it's as rigorous and very, very extensive to put teams in the field of 68 as it is a field of 12, Christian.
Yeah, and the thing I brought up about Wake Forest, when you're 18-6, which they're 18-7 now, and 10-4 in the conference that they're in, ACC, but I mean, you look at the records, I mean, that's a tournament team, but right now, I mean, you're right there with Wake Forest at 15-9, 4-7 in the conference. And you mentioned kind of Arkansas and their identity. I think this team thrives better when the game's kind of ugly. I think when they're forced to kind of lock down and play defense, and I think that's where they're best. Now, we've seen flashes where this team can really shoot the ball well. Kentucky, they shot it well at Texas and at points, and then obviously the Michigan game, but that was with Boogie Flynn. I don't know that that's the team you're going to see most nights. I think you're going to have to lean heavily on the defense now, and have kind of Big Z kind of be the enforcer down low, and then Adu, and it'd be nice to get 20 points out of Big Z every game, but I don't think that's going to be the case every night. Going to have some other guys have to step up. Nelly Davis obviously can carry the team when he needs to. This is a complete, a team that's going to have to kind of find scores, different scores every game, and it's just you never really know what you're going to get out of this team. But tonight we expected a win, and that's what they did. They delivered on their home court. 70-58, the final score against the LSU Tigers. Arkansas is now 15-9 overall and 4-7 in the league, and they will travel to Texas A&M on Saturday. All right, we have got another segment coming up. It's Hog Reaction with Christian Johnston and Colton Little, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Sawyer Sunrooms, and Buffington Homes. Call us at 877-377-6963.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, brought to you by Buffington Homes, the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
You got me really hot, so cool that one down.
Looking for a new home in the heart of Northwest Arkansas? Head to the Cottage at the Park. These beautiful homes by Buffington have direct access to a 120-acre park and offer maintenance-free yards. That means free time can be spent watching the Hogs, traveling, playing in the park, or just enjoying a weekend without yard work. For relaxed living at its finest, Cottage at the Park is the best move you'll make. Visit BuffingtonHomesAR.com/hogradio for details.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Nobo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Extended. That's right, the Greater River Valley RV Show has been extended through President's Day. Don't let the weather keep you away. Crabtree RV Center has a 26,000 square foot indoor showroom to keep you warm and dry while you check out their extensive new and pre-owned inventory, such as Grand Design and Forest River, just to name a few. All units have been drastically reduced and financing is available. So make plans to come see why they've been voted the best of the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Crabtree RV Center at 400 Heather Lane in Alma, making your family's dreams come true for 75 years.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full day cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call. Cleans it all.
Happy New Year from Sharp Equipment. Come on over to the new Sharp Equipment today and explore what all Sharp has to offer. From our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Newson dealer to customized hydraulic and industrial hoses, equipment repairs, and as a Cinnabogan authorized service provider, we're able to offer even more. Stop in to check out the new location at 5608 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-649-0500 to see how at Sharp Equipment we help you move more than just the world. We help you move forward. Sharp Equipment, your Wacker Newson dealer.
Winter might be downtime for some, but it's uptime for saving at WT Equipment in Springdale. For a limited time, choose between 0% financing or cashback offers on New Holland Workmaster Utility Series tractors. Plus, New Holland's 60-month, 2,000-hour Premier Protection Plan, included at no extra cost. Don't miss out on these winter-exclusive deals, available now through March 31st. Visit WT Equipment in Springdale today or call us for details.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Are you ready to stay warm, save money, and be in control of your energy bills this year? Arkansas Oklahoma Gas has you covered. We care about you and your energy needs. That's why we want to share knowledge and tools to weatherproof your wallet and keep your home cozy. Wondering about ways to help save on your natural gas bill? Looking for payment options? Interested in simple DIY measures to help save energy? We've got you. Visit AOGC.com/winner today and discover resources and information designed to help you save, stay warm, and stay informed.
Knox, step back, left wing, 3-ball, good.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, brought to you by Buffington Homes and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Nadu drives the paint, kicks it out to Brazil, 3-pointer, good.
Hog Reaction is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction.
DJ picked up by Chest on the switch. Wagner may try to take him. Instead went low, and the pass stolen. And then stolen back by Adu Thero. Ahead to Knox for a two-hand slam. Got a little crazy out there. Arkansas threw it away. LSU gave it right back. Knox with the flush, and the Hogs are within one.
Got a little crazy out there, Christian. That's what Chuck said tonight on the call after Carter Knox flushed one right there after the John L. Davis steal. Nelly Davis picks up 3 steals again tonight, Big C, and he has been an absolute thief in SEC play as of late. One of the many reasons why it's really great that we picked up such a high-profile transfer out of the portal whenever he was available. Man, this Razorback basketball team, they're really coming on, and it's been exciting to watch them as the Razorbacks knock off the LSU Tigers tonight at home, 70-58. And they moved to 15-9 so far in the season overall, 4-7 in this really, really difficult and tough conference that they found themselves in this year. And Big C, man, I know that basketball had that big win tonight, but I've still got a little bit of that round white ball with those laces on my mind as well. Now that we're getting into this cold weather and opening series this weekend.
Yeah, it's time, guys. Baseball is here. I know there's a lot of excitement, as there is almost every year. Coming into this season, and the one piece of advice, just enjoy the ride. You're gonna see some really good baseball this year. Just enjoy the season, enjoy the games, and this team's going to be fun to watch, I'm sure. Usually this time of the year, teams are kind of starting to they're figuring out who fits well in certain positions, and I expect there to be a lot of exciting plays starting this Friday, I believe, doubleheader.
That's right, yeah, doubleheader. Thanks to the weather, the cold weather moving in. So the start of next week has moved the doubleheader to tomorrow, to Friday. They're going to play 2 games on Friday. They're not going to play on Monday, I believe. Or a Sunday. They're not going to play one of the. They're not going to play Sunday. I believe they will play again on Monday. So no game on Sunday for the Razorbacks this weekend. They're going to go ahead and do a doubleheader on Friday, one on Saturday, and then another one to finish off to start the week on Monday. But Big C, man, it's an exciting thing. I think that you said it right there. Is that just enjoy it while it's here, and just don't take for granted the good baseball that you're going to be watching, and don't take for granted these phone lines that we got open for you guys tonight. 877-377-6963 if you want to get on Hog Reaction here with me, Colton Little, and Christian Johnson. Guys, it's a big win tonight, so surely someone out there maybe hit a nice parlay with the Razorbacks in there. Maybe someone had a couple beers and wants to call into a radio show. Look, it's 11:34 at night. The rules are a little bit. They're getting grayer by the second, kind of like Tommy's hair when I'm pushing the wrong buttons from 9 to 11 in the morning. So you guys call in. We want to get your opinions here on Hog Reaction. We want to hear your hot takes. We want to hear what you guys have to think about the Razorbacks right now. Big C, man, big win tonight for the Razorback basketball team, and I think that Adu Thero didn't really have his best game tonight, but the energy that he brings was super, super huge. He grabbed a lot of rebounds for this team, and Carter Knox also had a really big night. You heard the highlight coming back right there.
And that was a big play in the game.
It was good to see him. I mean, that was 36-37 right there. You're trying to pull away at the start of the first half, and then that kind of sparked you guys to. That sort of sparked the guys to, just sort of push LSU aside and get points in the paint. Because if you look at the points in the paint down there in those stats, Christian, Arkansas had 40 points in the paint tonight. I mean, they did a great job of pounding the ball inside. Ivicic with the turnaround hook and the jumper, like Coach Payne said earlier, and then Adu slashing there like he always does. It seemed like DJ Wagner tonight was in the lane every other time down the court. He is a really, really good point guard at facilitating the ball as well as doing it from the lane when he's there. 7 assists for number 21 tonight.
Yeah, he's a steady basketball player. I mean, he's not gonna. He takes what the defense gives him, and he's really good at getting downhill and going to the rim if you give him just a little bit of daylight. And I talked about that play earlier. That kind of, Arkansas was down 3, and then they get the steal and get the slam. That is what Arkansas does well, is they turn their defense into offense. They get easy buckets that way, and it kind of gets the team some momentum, and that's what you're going to have to do in some of these close games. You're going to have to take advantage of what the defense gives you, and that's what they did tonight. Shot 4 of 12 from 3, and
which is good. 33% is pretty good. I'll take that.
Yeah, I was going to say that's about all you can expect, and didn't go crazy from the 3-point. Didn't take like 20 attempts tonight when you didn't need to,
which I think is good for this team. I think that the more this team starts to shoot threes, I think that we've sort of fallen off of what we're really, really best at, which is playmaking once we've gotten the ball inside, which is evident from tonight. 40 points in there. Tim, formerly from Palm Beach, chimes back in because he was the only person that sent us a text tonight except for Argy and NWA. He said, "I'm the only one that texts in. Shame on the rest of the merry band of idiots." And then, Christian, these are words that we don't hear here a lot. You have overperformed. Shut it down so you can get a few hours of sleep before the morning.
We'll take those compliments.
Tim, I appreciate you. Thank you for saying that. And that's right, guys. If you want to get in here, we're reading all these texts. So send them in here, 877-377-6963. If you're listening out there on the radio stations or on the Hit That Line Now app, we want to hear your guys' feedback. It's the reason we have the show. So if you guys are excited about the Razorbacks' big W tonight, you guys can hop on here with us with a little bit of time that we have left here tonight. And we'll take your calls. We'll get all your texts. We'll read your tweets and comments. If you want to tweet at me and Christian, I don't think that we'll, I'm sure that we'll read most of them as well. So you guys hop on here with us. We're going to wrap this up here in just a minute. The Razorbacks took care of business tonight against the LSU Tigers 70-58. We're brought to you tonight on Hog Reaction by Sawyer's Sunrooms, Buffington Homes, and the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Stick around, folks. Be right back here on Hog Reaction.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, brought to you by Buffington Homes, the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
You got me really hot, so cool that one down.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyer's has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyer's and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyer's, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Nobo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
At Central Hydraulic in Fort Smith, the work doesn't just stop when the temperature drops. We're your go-to service provider. Be sure to prep your machine and stay ahead of the frost and costly damage. Still using summer oil? Winter-friendly oil is the weapon your machine needs. Be sure to get an oil change. Check your hydraulic fluid, fuel prep, and battery check. For all these services needed in the cold weather months, come see Central Hydraulic for all your hydraulic needs at 6104 Highway 271 South or call at 479-646-0571. Central Hydraulic, your service provider.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That go to hunt.
Dog,
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Swiss dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for two for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for two for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
If you live near Alex, Alma, Branch, Bloomer, Mountain Berg, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect Internet may be available to you right now. Wave is now serving a few non-member areas and adding more in the coming months. Check availability online. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Hey everyone, Erica Jensen here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Are you happy with your current office technology provider? Did you know that AAA Business Systems has been in business since 1979 and longer than any other provider in Northwest Arkansas? Listen up, I may be a Cajun girl at heart, but I'm a Razorback through and through. Call me today at 479-442-4185 to learn more about the one company that can truly change the way you work and remember anything else is just a copy.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Knox, step back, left wing, 3-ball good.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, brought to you by Buffington Homes and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Nadu drives the paint, kicks it out to Brazil, 3-pointer good.
Hog Reaction is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction.
Arkansas gets the big time win tonight, 70-58. Anytime you can get a win, it's awesome. It feels way better than a loss, Colton. And this season has been kind of a roller coaster, but this one, I mean, it's one of the few games this year we're going into it. Other than some of the non-conference games, it kind of felt like, you're supposed to win this game. You're going to win this game. You just can't have one of those really bad performances. And it wasn't their best performance, but it was plenty good enough against LSU, who's got some size. They've got some athletes, and they did some good things tonight. But really, they couldn't sustain it for very long. It just seemed like Arkansas, just kind of had their number tonight, and they got the comfortable win. It didn't really feel comfortable, until kind of towards the end, where it became kind of a free throw shooting fest. And you mentioned the Arkansas covering earlier. I mean, it came down to the final shot. LSU jacked up there. If that would have been a big shot, to put it under 10, and a lot of people would have lost out if you.
Yeah, that's right. People would have been having to get second mortgages and whatnot, I'm sure, on a 4-7 basketball team. I'd certainly hope not. But yes, Christian, it was important, and the Hogs did cover. Anytime you can cover, anytime you can win in the SEC, no one's going to complain.
I did tell my mom. She's been betting recently.
Yeah, what did Mama Johnson? What she had to say? What did she say?
I just texted her earlier today, and I was like, bet on the Hogs tonight.
That's right.
I was confident.
That's good. Hey, so she makes you some money. Are you going to ask for a little bit off the top?
Yeah.
That's right. Send me some money. Send me some the money,
owes
Mom.
me.
That's
Yeah.
right. She got to owe you. That's absolutely right.
No,
Hey,
I couldn't pay her back the money she spent on me.
That's true.
Over 2 lifetimes.
God, me either. Rick from Calico Rock, though, he's got kind of the same attitude that you do, Christian. It's, hey, very simple statement. We'll take this win. That's right. We will take this win. And Bobby from Mountain Home chimes in on the text line here. He says, just now waking up, heading to work, so he's got the late shift tonight. Appreciate you clocking in late hours for the rest of us, Bobby. It means a lot. And he says it's a good thing when the first thing that his ears hear when he turns the radio on is that the Hogs have gone and got themselves another win. Yep. And he's happy to hear us talking about that tonight, and looking forward to listening to the rest of it tomorrow afternoon. So, Bobby, appreciate you listening into us tonight, and I'm glad that we could have your ears feasted upon the good news, the joyous news that the Razorbacks knocked off LSU tonight, 70-58. Big C. I mean, we basically just beat the dead horse on this tonight. I mean, the Razorbacks basically could not afford to come in, have LSU come into their own stadium and punk them like they did when they went down to Baton Rouge the first time. And Arkansas, they really they played tougher tonight than they did the first go around. A lot more cohesive as a unit, and it's just really enjoyable for me to watch this basketball team from where they started this season. I think that, Tommy kind of asked, Tommy asked us earlier this week on the Morning Rush what we think is the motivating factor for Cal after kind of turning this season around a little bit. And a lot of it was just the fact that, yes, he wants to help families like he's always said, but I really do think that it was hard for these guys to block out the noise early on in this basketball campaign about, hey, Adu's a flop, Thero's garbage, they shouldn't have brought these dudes over from Kentucky, Cal's archaic, and I mean, it's just, those things now, they seem completely out of touch, because Coach Cal has proven that, hey, he's still got a couple tricks up his old sleeve. You maybe not necessarily can teach an old dog new tricks, but you can teach an old dog to try something, and he's trying a lot of different things with this basketball team, and I think that one thing that's different than what we've watched in the past with these Musselman squads that have obviously delivered some great moments for us as basketball fans. There seems to be no stagnancy on offense from an actual movement standpoint. They may not be cutting as fast as I would like them to, and every coach at every level would like them to cut sometimes. But I think that one thing that Coach Cal has done is really instill in these guys that, hey, in order to score, you've got to move without the ball. And you've also got to continue to be really, really focused on running these plays and these sets that we have. They have those, BLOOB, the baseline out of bounds plays that Coach Cal has really, really done a great job with gaining extra points for this team this year by just drawing something up on the marker board over there that puts his guys in a position to win. So I think that hearing a lot of that stuff in the beginning of the season kind of got to these guys, and they sort of do have a lot to prove. So I'm glad that they're kind of playing with the chip on their shoulder. It's very evident now from the toughness that's been displayed on the basketball court for really the last 8 or 9 halves of basketball for this team.
And one thing you really can't say about this team, yes, they started 0-5 and then 1-6 in SEC play, and since turned it around. But part of that turnaround was the fact that this team was really close. Cal really cares about his players, and I know it's kind of like beating a dead horse at this point, but to really turn the page from that losing. That losing mentality to, all right, now let's get this thing turned around, and for them to be able to do that, I mean, there's still a lot of work ahead. But let's be honest, I mean, they have salvaged this season. They went on the road. Kentucky got a big win, and then Texas, and really that's where it all kind of started, and that's what's keeping this this hope alive that this team is going to get into the tournament. And they've got their work cut out for them, obviously, but I still feel like they're gonna get it done. They're gonna do what they need to do to get in the tournament, and it's gonna be a fun 2 or 3 weeks leading into the SEC tournament. Seeing this team get those resume building wins, and just it's kind of fun when your team is still got a lot to play for, and they're playing well. And I just like the way this is going so right now. So we're going to take another break, and we're going to be right back. I believe we've got one more segment left on Hog Reaction. It's Christian Johnston and Colton Little. We are presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Sawyer's Sunrooms, and Buffington Homes, Arkansas, with the win 70-58 tonight at Bud Walton Arena. Stay with us and call us at 877-377-6963.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, brought to you by Buffington Homes, the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
You got me really hot, so cool that one down.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. My favorite sport is hockey. I love the ice, the sliding, and especially the hits, but I don't love those things on our roads. Winter weather is here, so slow down and drive defensively. But if a bad driver gets past your goalie, call me to make a power play against the insurance company. After 13 years of settling car wreck claims, I've got more than a few tricks in my hat. Call 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
You stop it.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Here's some exciting news for golf enthusiasts. The Golf Nut is thrilled to announce new arrivals for 2025, including Callaway Elite Woods and Irons, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls, as well as a full range of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators to elevate your game. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue and experience golfing greatness for over 30 years.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
It's Todd Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jazzco?
Logos, we do food trucks, cars, we do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses. We do logos, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jazzco. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Looking to boost your health and feel your best? Elite Wellness and Aesthetics in Fort Smith is here to help. Starting at only $200 a month, semaglutide and tirzepatide are weight loss shots that can kickstart your journey to a healthier, more confident you. And with Elite's hormone therapy treatments, you can restore balance, energy, and vitality. Take control of your health today with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. 479-242-9355 to schedule your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Knox, step back, left wing, 3-ball, good.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, brought to you by Buffington Homes and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Nadu drives the paint, kicks it out to Brazil, three-pointer, good.
Hog Reaction is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction.
The Razorbacks will dribble this one out, and Arkansas is going to earn the split with LSU. The Tigers winners at Baton Rouge, but it's Arkansas tonight. LSU led by 1 at the break. Hogs outscored them by 13 in the second half. 70-58 the final.
You heard our man Chuck Barrett right there on the final call. You hear him again bright and early at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning on the Chuck and Bo Show right here on ESPN Arkansas. Arkansas takes care of business tonight at home at Bud Walton Arena, 70-58 against LSU. They move now onto the season 4-7 in conference and 15-9 overall. And Christian, they're probably putting themselves solidly on the bubble. The only thing is, you just don't want that bubble to be burst.
And tonight would have been one of those type of losses if you were to drop a game like this at home. So the fact that they were able to, have the right focus heading into tonight and not overlook a team that I'm sure they know they're better than, they're more talented than, even though they have already lost to this team. I just think, even though we lost to LSU early in the season, I think this is a game where these teams are really, record-wise in the conference, you've got 4 more wins than them, obviously, or 3 more wins than them, obviously, but it's just LSU right now. I don't know if the guy that they've got, McMahon, is the guy, but we're not worried about that. We know who we've got, and that's Coach Calipari, and I think, as we go along this season, this team's going to hit another level at some point, and when you get in the tournament, anything can happen, Colton, and like you said, this team is on that bubble right now, and really you need to look at every game as an opportunity from this point on. There's really there's not a cupcake on your schedule. Obviously, it's the SEC, but you can beat anybody if they play the way they just almost beat the number 1 or number 2 team in the country, I guess. Now the Crimson Tide really could have won that game if they wouldn't have kind of waited so long to get going on offense, but that just shows that they can play with anybody, and it's going to take some performances similar to that. Coming down the stretch here, you'll be able to pick off a couple of these teams, and normally, bubble teams, to get them over that hump, they win a game that really nobody predicted that they would win, and they've already really gotten a couple of those, but you got to do a little bit more. And I think there's some team like Missouri's always beatable to me. I know they're playing well, but you got them at Bud Walton. They've got some shooters on that team, obviously, but athlete for athlete, you should be able to match up pretty well with Missouri. And then the road games are where it gets kind of murky. At A&M, at Auburn, and then I think you go to Vanderbilt later on as well, and then you've got some winnable home games. So I like the way it stacks up. You just gotta kind of take it game by game at this point. Colton got a big one tonight against the LSU Tigers, and I think we've got a caller on the line.
That's right, we do. We got our man Cecil here on the line. Hey, Cecil, always good to have you on here with us tonight on Hog Reaction, brother. What'd you think of that win tonight? Good for us to knock off the Tigers,
man,
huh?
I just pulled up at the crib, man.
Yeah.
I just got off the hill, man. It was a good game.
Good deal. How was it? So you were at the game tonight, Cecil?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I didn't even come home. Hey, look, my girl, she was out. I'm like, where are you at? She said, I'm looking for you. I just went to the shop. I'm like, look, I just sent her a picture of me and Chuck. She just, she didn't get it. We took a really great picture.
You didn't tell her you were going to the game?
No. I just, me and Doug just took off.
That's right. Man, that's nice.
That's right. But I've been saying all season that Big Z is going to play in the NBA for a long time. He's good. Mm-hmm. Now, everybody was saying, no, he ain't ready. I'm like, dude, the man is 7'2". He's long. He can shoot free throws really well, and he can shoot the tray.
Does he kind of remind you of Chet Holmgren, or is he different? Is he a little different than Chet Holmgren for the Thunder? Is that a comparable?
Yeah. Honestly, I think he's going to be better than that.
Okay.
He's going to be better than that. Yes, that's just my opinion.
I like that take. I like that take, Cecil. So you were at the game tonight, Cecil. How was the crowd? Was it good? Did the fans get behind their boys or what?
Oh yeah, no doubt. It was a good vibe. I want to say my estimate of the crowd, I want to say it was about 13,500 up in there. Something like that. It might have been 14. It was a good crowd for a Wednesday night game.
A little bit late. It's late night, Wednesday night. Also bad weather coming in, and hey, the team has struggled. So I think 14 is probably a good number.
what you talking about bad weather? Look, we couldn't find a truck. I just forgot. We missed the shuttle, so we walked, which it wasn't for. But I didn't know where the truck was. So I'm walking around in circles, and I'm hitting the controller trying to see if the lights are popping on and off. But yeah, it's really cold up there. It's cold here too, but up there it's colder. But we're gonna win a lot of more games. And Thero didn't play for us. He played a good game to me. He just didn't score a lot of points tonight. He's a great player. Thero he plays like he's a Dwayne Wade made over again.
He makes winning plays.
Man, he's a great player. We got a really good team. And the thing about what's gonna make us really great next year is because I think all them guys are gonna come back. I don't know about Boogie Flam. I'm not gonna put Boogie Flam down, but the rotation got better when he fell out of the rotation. That's just my opinion. I don't that's just how I feel. I'm a Hog fan. I know about the game, and the game got better when he fell out the rotation. And I don't know. I wish him luck if he move on. I wish him luck. He's getting paid. All the players are getting pretty good money there. I figure all of them are stay. Yeah. And then we have a good 4 or 5 coming in. I think we're going to be really good. We're going to be good, man.
I think you're right, Cecil. I think that a lot of Coach Cal's biggest recruits next year aren't going to be the guys he's already signed. It's going to be the players that are already on his team. That's a very good take, Cecil. Man, it's always good to hear from you on these post game shows, especially after a win. Your love for the Razorbacks, man, it's infectious, man. It's infectious.
Hey, I'm like my boy in Clarksville. It's a hog delight, baby.
Yes, sir. And it tastes sweet tonight. It tastes real sweet.
Yeah. Hey, man, y'all have a nice night, man, and I'll get with y'all later, man.
You too, Cecil. Call us in the morning. Appreciate you, dude.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate the call there, Cecil. We were talking about Arkansas being on the bubble earlier, and 15-9 is where they're at right now. You like to make it easy on yourself and win some games that you probably weren't expected to win. And it reminds me of the Musselman year when we finished 8-10 in conference, 7-11, and we ended up making the tournament. The conference is supposedly the best it's ever been this year. So 7-11, I think bare minimum. 8-10 if you can get there, but we'll see as this season plays out. Arkansas gets the win, 70-58. It's been a fun show, Colton. We're presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Sawyer Sunrooms, and Buffington Homes. It's been Hog Reaction tonight. Any last thoughts, Colton?
No, it's Christian and man, like you said it's been a great time with you here tonight. The Razorbacks, they blocked 7 shots, the 15th time they've done that all year. At least they've blocked 5 in a game. They've won 6 of the last 9 against LSU. They lead the series overall. Ivicic had a great night. It was good for their Arkansas to come in there and get the win. And it's just to stay home and get the win when they desperately needed to not lose. So hopefully they can continue this streak, Big C.
All right. Stay tuned to the shows tomorrow. Obviously, Chuck and Bo, 6 to 9 in the morning. Then you got the Morning Rush, 9 to 11. Halftime, 11 to 2. Ruskin and Zach from 2 to 7. All right.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, brought to you by Buffington Homes, the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, and by